Securely hosting internal single-page applications on AWS S3, the ultimate guide. This podcast is brought to you by Business Compass LLC. We are an Amazon Web Services advanced consulting partner. We build and migrate workloads to Amazon Cloud. Our website is businesscompassllc.com. Our phone number is 973-638-2228. Our email address is contact@businesscompassllc.us. Introduction: Understanding internal websites and SPAs. Single-page applications, SPAs, have become famous for modern web development due to their seamless user experience and fast performance. Internal websites designed for exclusive use within an organization often host these SPAs. Ensuring their security and accessibility is paramount, especially when dealing with sensitive data. This podcast will walk you through securely hosting internal SPAs on AWS S3. Why choose S3 for static website hosting? Amazon S3 is a highly scalable, reliable, low-latency data storage infrastructure. It offers robust features like versioning, lifecycle policies, and cross-region replication. S3 provides simplicity and cost-effectiveness for static website hosting, making it an excellent choice for SPAs. Here are a few reasons why S3 stands out. Cost-effective: pay only for what you use without upfront costs. Scalable: automatically scales to handle any number of requests. High availability: designed for 99.999999999% 11 nines of data durability. Secure: offers robust security features, including encryption and access control. Architecting internal S3 hosting: the role of VPC endpoints and ALBs. Hosting an internal website on S3 requires ensuring it is not publicly accessible. This is where Virtual Private Cloud, VPC, endpoints and application load balancers, ALBs, come into play. Here's how they help. VPC endpoints enable you to connect your VPC to AWS services without exposing your data to the internet. Application load balancers distribute incoming traffic across multiple targets, such as EC2 instances, and ensure that only authenticated users can access your application. Implementing internal S3 hosting with AWS CDK, a step-by-step guide. Prerequisites: AWS account, AWS CLI installed and configured, AWS CDK installed. Step 1. Set up the AWS CDK project. McDoor internal SPA hosting, CD internal SPA hosting, CDK init app language TypeScript. Step 2. Define the S3 bucket. In your lib/internal SPA hosting stack.ts file, add import as S3 from AWS CDK/AWS S3. Import as CDK from AWS CDK/core. Export class internal SPA hosting stack extends cdk.stack. Constructor scope: cdk.construct, id, string, props, cdk.stack props. Superscope: id, props. Const site bucket equals new s3.bucket this, site bucket. Website index document, index.html. Public read access, false. Block public access, s3.blockpublicaccess.block_all. Semicolon. Step 3. Add VPC endpoint and ALB. Add the following to the same file. Import as ec2 from AWS CDK/AWS ec2. Import as lb2 from AWS CDK/AWS Elastic Load Balancing 2. Import as IAM from AWS CDK/AWS IAM. Const VPC equals new ec2.vpc this, VPC. Const endpoint equals new ec2.interface VPC endpoint this, scene point. VPC. Service, new ec2.interface VPC endpoint service, com.amazonos.us east 1.s3, 443. Semicolon. Const alb equals new lb2.application load balancer this, ALB. VPC. Internet facing, false. Semicolon. Const listener equals alb.add listener. Port, 80. Open, true. Semicolon. Listener.add targets target. Port, 80. Targets, new lb2.instance target instance ID, Semicolon. New IAM.policy statement. Actions, S3: get object. Resources, site bucket.bucket, arn // Principles, new IAM.any principle. Semicolon. Step 4, deploy your application. CDK deploy. Testing your internal S3 hosted SPA. To test your internal SPA, ensure your ALB is correctly configured to route traffic to your S3 bucket. Access the application through the internal network to verify connectivity and functionality. Ensure that only authorized users can access the application by checking IAM policies and security group settings. Additional security considerations for private websites. Encryption. Ensure your data is encrypted at rest and in transit. Access control. Use IAM policies to restrict access to the S3 bucket and other resources. Logging and monitoring. Enable logging on your S3 bucket and use AWS CloudTrail to monitor access. Beyond internal hosting, balancing security and accessibility. While internal hosting ensures security, there may be times when you need to grant temporary access to external users. Consider using AWS WAF, Web Application Firewall, to control access based on IP addresses and other criteria. Constantly monitor access and adjust policies as needed to balance security and accessibility. Conclusion: empowering your organization with secure internal applications. By leveraging AWS S3, VPC endpoints, and ALBs, you can securely host internal SPAs, providing a seamless and secure user experience. AWS CDK simplifies the process, allowing you to define and deploy your infrastructure as code. With robust security measures and careful planning, you can empower your organization with efficient and secure internal applications. Thank you for listening to our podcast. Please share this podcast, visit our website, and follow our social media links.